Why do we need crop production? All living beings need food for energy and survival. Plants make their own food, photosynthesis, but humans and animals depend on plants and other animals. To feed our large population, we need regular and large-scale food production. That's why agriculture is so important. What is agriculture? Agriculture means growing crops and raising animals for food and other products. Thousands of years ago, humans were nomads. They hunted and gathered food. Later, they learned to cultivate land, grow plants like wheat and rice. This began agriculture. What is a crop? When plants of the same kind are grown and cultivated in a large area, it is called a crop. For example, a field full of only wheat plants is called wheat crop. Types of crops in India. Crops are grouped according to the season they grow in. They are Kharif crops sown in rainy season, June to September. Examples are paddy, maize, groundnut, cotton. Rabi crops grown in winter season, October to March. Examples are wheat, gram, pea, mustard. Basic practices of crop production. To grow any crop successfully, a farmer has to follow 7 main steps. These steps are called agricultural practices. They are preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, protection from weeds, harvesting, storage. Let's study first step, preparation of soil. What is it? This is the first step before growing a crop. The soil must be loosened and turned so that roots can go deep and spread easily, roots can breathe air underground, and nutrient-rich soil comes to the top. Why is loosening the soil important? It allows air and water to reach roots. It helps earthworms and microbes to grow. They are the farmer's friends because they improve soil quality and add humus, organic matter. It brings minerals and nutrients from the lower layers to the surface. Let's look into various tools used for preparation of soil. A plow used to loose and turn the soil. It is made of wood or iron, pulled by bulls or tractor. A hoe removes weeds and loosens soil. It has a long handle and a bent iron plate. A cultivator is a tractor-driven tool. It makes plowing faster and saves labor. This process of turning and loosening soil is called tilling or plowing. After plowing, the soil is leveled using a leveler. This helps in uniform irrigation. Sometimes manure is mixed into the soil before sowing to enrich it. The soil is moistened slightly before planting seeds. Let's have summary of step 1, preparation of soil. Main purpose of this step is to loosen the soil and bring nutrients up. Various tools like plow, hoe, cultivator, leveler are used to achieve this. This step is helpful in better root growth and aeration for crops. Let's look into step 2, that is sowing. What is sowing? Sowing means planting seeds in the soil. It's one of the most important steps in crop production because if the seeds are poor, the whole crop will be weak. Let's see how to do seed selection. Before sowing, farmers must select good quality, healthy seeds. Healthy seeds are well-developed, not shriveled or hollow, capable of germination, free from disease. How to find the good seeds? Put some seeds like wheat or gram in water. The good seeds sink, while the damaged ones float because they are hollow and light. Farmers use this simple method to separate healthy seeds. Methods of sowing. There are 3 main methods used for sowing seeds. 1. Traditional method. A funnel-shaped tool allows seeds to pass through pipes and fall into the soil. It's pulled by animals. 2. Seed drill modern method. A tractor-pulled device that places seeds uniformly at the right depth and distance. 3. Transplantation. Some seeds, like paddy, are first grown in a nursery. Later, small plants seedlings are transferred to the main field. Why proper spacing is important. Seeds must be sown at proper distance and depth to avoid overcrowding so each plant gets enough sunlight, air, water, and nutrients. To ensure healthy growth, sometimes a few plants are removed later called thinning to give more space to others. Again, let's summarize step 2, sowing. Use good quality seeds for high yield. Sow seeds at proper depth, spacing, and time. Use seed drill for efficient and uniform sowing. Some crops, like rice, need transplantation. Now let's study third step, adding manure and fertilizers. Why do we add them? Soil naturally contains nutrients, but when crops are grown again and again in the same field, the soil loses nutrients. To maintain fertility and get a healthy crop, farmers add manure or fertilizers to the soil. This process is called manuring. What is manure? Manure is an organic substance obtained from the decomposition of plant and animal waste. Farmers collect cow dung, leaves, crop waste in pits and let them decompose naturally with the help of microorganisms. After some time, it becomes nutrient-rich organic matter. That's manure. It's natural, eco-friendly, and improves soil structure. What are fertilizers? Fertilizers are chemical substances made in factories that are rich in specific nutrients. Examples: urea rich in nitrogen, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. They help crops like wheat, rice, and maize grow faster and give higher yield. However, using too much fertilizer makes the soil less fertile over time. It can cause water pollution. Hence, farmers are encouraged to use organic manure or sometimes leave the field fallow unused to let the soil recover. Crop rotation. It is another natural way to maintain soil fertility. Farmers grow different crops alternately, for example, wheat one season, legumes like gram or peas next. Legume roots have rhizobium bacteria that fix nitrogen from the air into the soil, enriching it naturally. This reduces the need for chemical fertilizers. Difference between fertilizer and manure. Fertilizers are chemical, man-made, whereas manure is natural, obtained from plants and animals. Fertilizers are very rich in nutrients. Manure is less rich in nutrients, but adds humus to soil. Fertilizers are made in factories, and manure can be prepared in home or field. Fertilizers may harm soil fertility over time, whereas manure will improve fertility and structure. Advantages of manure: improves soil texture, increases water-holding capacity, adds humus, organic matter, encourages growth of friendly microbes. Let's recap step 3. Manure and fertilizers are added to replenish nutrients in the soil. While fertilizers give quick results, manure keeps the soil healthy in the long run. What is irrigation? The supply of water to crops at regular intervals is called irrigation. Plants need water for germination. Seeds don't sprout in dry soil, transporting nutrients through the plant, photosynthesis and growth, protection from frost and hot winds. Since plants contain almost 90% water, regular irrigation is essential for healthy growth. When and how often to irrigate? The time and frequency of irrigation depend on the crop, e.g., paddy needs more water than wheat. The soil type, sandy soil, loses water faster. The season, more frequent in summer due to evaporation. Sources of irrigation. Farmers use different water sources like wells and tube wells, ponds and lakes, rivers and dams, canals. Traditional methods of irrigation. Earlier, farmers used human or animal labor to lift water. These methods are cheap but less efficient. 1. Moat pulley system. Farmers used bucket and rope to lift water from a well. 2. Chain pump. Continuous chain of buckets to lift water. 3. Deckley. Uses a lever and bucket for small-scale lifting. 4. Rahat lever system. Uses animal power to turn a wheel that lifts water. Modern methods of irrigation. Modern methods use less water and are more efficient. 1. Sprinkler system. Best for uneven lands or areas with limited water. Water is pumped through pipes with rotating nozzles that sprinkle water like rain. Commonly used for lawns, coffee, and tea plantations. 2. Drip system. Water drips slowly near the roots of each plant. No wastage of water, ideal for areas with scarce water. Common in fruit orchards and gardens. Advantages of modern irrigation: saves water, reduces labor, prevents waterlogging, gives uniform growth. Let's recap summary of Step 4, irrigation. Farmers use traditional methods like moat, deckly, rahat, chain pump with the help of manpower or animals. But nowadays, most of the farmers shifted to modern methods of irrigation like sprinkler system, drip system, which are more efficient and save water. Let's study fifth step, protection from weeds. What are weeds? Weeds are unwanted plants that grow naturally in fields along with crops. They are not planted by the farmer, they just appear on their own. Example, in a wheat field, plants like amaranthus, chalai, or wild grass may grow. These are weeds. Why are weeds harmful? Weeds are a serious problem because they compete with crops for water, sunlight, nutrients, and space, reduce crop yield and make plants weak, interfere during harvesting. Some weeds are even poisonous to humans and animals. What is weeding? The removal of weeds from the crop field is called weeding. It must be done regularly, especially before weeds produce flowers and seeds, because otherwise they spread quickly. Methods of weed control. 1. Manual weeding. Physical removal of weeds by hand or with tools like a Kirby hand hoe. Sometimes, a seed drill can also be used to uproot weeds. Simple but requires a lot of labor. 2. Tilling before sowing. When the soil is tilled or plowed before sowing, many weed plants are uprooted and destroyed, and their remains mix with the soil, enriching it. 3. Chemical control weedicides. Weeds can also be destroyed by special chemicals called weedicides. Example, 24-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. These are sprayed on fields to kill weeds without harming the crop. They are diluted with water before spraying. Farmers use sprayers for uniform application. Safety rule. While spraying weedicides, farmers should cover their nose and mouth with cloth to protect themselves from harmful effects. Let's recap Step 5, protection from weeds. Weeds are unwanted plants growing with crops. Process of removing these weeds is called weeding. Weedicides are chemicals used to kill weeds. Farmers use manual, tilling, or chemical control to remove weeds. Let's study Step 6, harvesting. What is harvesting? Harvesting means cutting and collecting mature crops from the field. Once the crop is fully grown and grains have ripened, it's ready to be harvested. Generally, cereal crops like wheat, rice, maize take about 3 to 4 months to mature. There are 2 methods of harvesting. 1. Manual harvesting, where farmers cut crops by hand with a curve-shaped iron tool called sickle. 2. In mechanical harvesting, harvesting is done using machines usually suitable for large farms. Threshing, separating grains from chaff. After harvesting, the grains are still attached to stalks chaff. The process of separating grains from chaff is called threshing. A modern machine called a combine is used. It acts as both a harvester and a thresher at the same time. It cuts the crop and separates the grains automatically. Stubble burning problem. After harvesting, leftover stubs or straw are sometimes burned by farmers to clear the field quickly. This practice is harmful because it causes air pollution, can damage soil nutrients, may even ignite nearby crops. Hence, farmers are advised to use eco-friendly alternatives like turning stubble into compost. Harvest festivals. After months of effort, harvesting brings joy and celebration to farmers. Across India, this period is celebrated with harvest festivals, which vary by region. These festivals express gratitude to nature and hard work and bring communities together in happiness. Let's recap Step 6, harvesting. Cutting of mature crops is called harvesting. Separation of grain from chaff is called threshing. Indians celebrate the successful crop harvesting like Pongal, Bihu, etc. Let's study the last step. Storage. Why is storage important? Once the crops are harvested and grains are separated, they must be stored safely. Otherwise, they can be damaged by moisture causes fungal growth. Insects and pests like weevils, moths, rats, and rodents. Microorganisms like bacteria or fungi. So, proper drying and storage are essential to protect the farmer's hard-earned produce. Drying the grains. Freshly harvested grains contain extra moisture. If stored wet, they can rot or sprout. Therefore, farmers dry the grains in the sun for several days. Sun drying reduces moisture and prevents fungal or bacterial attack. Let's look into various methods of storage. 1. For small farmers. Grains are stored at home in jute bags, metallic bins, earthen pots, or drums. Farmers often add dried neem leaves to the containers. Neem acts as a natural pest repellent. 2. For large-scale storage. For storing huge quantities, grains are kept in silos, tall, airtight metal towers, granaries, large storage buildings. These protect grains from rats, insects, and moisture. To protect grains in big godowns, chemical treatments like fumigation are used to kill pests and microbes. Winnowing. Winnowing is a traditional method to separate grain from chaff using wind. Lighter chaff flies away and heavier grains fall down. Farmers still use winnowing machines for small-scale grain cleaning. Here is a summary of Step 7, storage. Farmers remove moisture from grains by sun-drying. This process is called drying. Small-scale farmers store the grains in jute bags, metal bins, neem leaves to protect from insects/moisture. In large-scale, grains are stored in large silos for long-term safekeeping. Manually separating grains from chaff is called winnowing. Food from animals. Just like crops, humans also get food from animals like milk, eggs, meat, honey, fish, etc. When animals are reared, kept and cared for, on a large scale for food or other products, it is called animal husbandry. For example, cows, buffaloes, goats, and camels which give milk. Fish provides protein and fish oil rich in vitamin D. Hens, ducks for eggs and meat. Animal husbandry provides nutrition, employment, and income to farmers. Let's look into final summary, 7 steps of crop production. 1. Preparation of soil, purpose, to loosen soil, bring nutrients up. 2. Sowing, purpose, to plant good quality seeds. 3. Adding manure and fertilizers, purpose, replenish soil nutrients. 4. Irrigation, purpose, to supply water regularly. 5. Protection from weeds, purpose, to remove unwanted plants. 6. Harvesting, purpose, to cut mature crops. 7. Storage, purpose, to keep grains safe for use. This concludes the lesson, Crop Production and Management. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to GKQuest. Thank you for watching.